Is preserving Bruce Lee's legacy about honoring his philosophy or chaining it to the past? Has Jeet Kune Do become a battle between evolution and nostalgia? What if the fiercest protectors of Bruce Lee's legacy are also its greatest obstacles? Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel. Welcome to the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast number 350. This is the one about Dan Inosanto and the evolution of Jeet Kune Do, a necessary path or a controversial detour. As you're logging in, if you'd be kind enough to say where you're logging in from, hit the like button and feel free to continue doing so throughout the broadcast. If you're catching the simulcast over on the YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. But of course, the best thing you can do is to share this video and spread the word about the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcasts. All right, so today we're diving, dare I say again, into a topic which has sparked spirited debate in the Jeet Kune Do community for decades, literally, folks, decades. And this is the criticism directed at Dan Inosanto, Bruce Lee's premier disciple, as I like to refer to him, and his decision to explore and teach other martial arts after Bruce Lee's untimely passing. So, was his journey, Inosanto's journey, a betrayal of Jeet Kune Do's essence, or was it a natural evolution, even a natural extension of its philosophy? And more importantly, we'll deal with today, what motivates some of his harshest critics, many of whom are deeply devoted Bruce Lee fans, right? So let's explore this. Okay, so despite his physical stature, Dan Inosanto is a towering figure in martial arts history, not just for his direct connection to Bruce Lee, but also for his immense contributions to spreading and evolving not just Jeet Kune Do, but other arts as well. And his detractors have leveled two significant criticisms. One, that Jeet Kune Do, as established by Bruce Lee, is a complete system, thereby rendering further exploration to be unnecessary. And two, that Inosanto confused the art by incorporating and teaching disciplines like Kali, Muay Thai, Pencak Silat, Boxe Française-Savate, and doing that under the banner of Jeet Kune Do Concepts. So to truly understand this controversy, we have to use a word that the cool kids use. We have to unpack both I call it the practical and the psychological dimensions of these criticisms, right? So my question is this: when did Bruce Lee ever actually say or indicate in any way that Jeet Kune Do was complete? I think that's the premise with which we have to start. Bruce Lee often described Jeet Kune Do not as a fixed system, but as a philosophy, a method of self-expression, a method for personal growth through the martial arts. And even if initially he drew ideas from Wing Chun, boxing, and fencing, that just suggests that even back then in the beginning, Jeet Kune Do was inherently dynamic. So again, the question is, when did Bruce Lee ever indicate that Jeet Kune Do was complete? I ask that because the idea that it is complete seems to me to contradict his principle of being formless, let's say, right? Yes, he had a framework. Obviously, you have to have a framework. You got to teach something. So he had a framework that he used for his own training and for his teaching. But I think it's safe to say that he probably encouraged his own people to keep an open mind and to seek that continued growth, let's call it, right? So couldn't Inosanto's exploration of other arts simply be his way of honoring this principle? Because when Bruce Lee passed away, Inosanto found himself in what I dare say many people consider an unenviable position. So because he ended up being thrust onto the world stage in the position as like torch bearer of Jeet Kune Do. And along with that, right? Imagine if what you were about to do was to really just reconcile your own position as a martial artist, right? Your personal growth as a martial artist. And now all of a sudden there's this thing about no, you're the Jeet Kune Do guy. We got to come to you. We need this Jeet Kune Do stuff and what have you. I think that his decision to study other arts wasn't about replacing Jeet Kune Do. It was about expanding his understanding and perhaps even his skill set. Okay. His seminars under the umbrella term Jeet Kune Do Concepts, although I did a search for that, and that Jeet Kune Do Concepts term wasn't used that much, like in advertising seminars and what have you. From what I found, I still have to complete the search for that. But under the term Jeet Kune Do Concepts, I say that was Inosanto's way of teaching principles, not prescribing a new Jeet Kune Do, but teaching principles to illustrate concepts like timing, range, adaptability, and in an attempt to show that the principles of Jeet Kune Do transcend style, transcend particular art. But his critics argue that by teaching stuff alongside Jeet Kune Do, Inosanto, blurred the lines of what Jeet Kune Do is. So, how come for a bunch of us, we weren't confused? So is it really confusion or is it merely evolution? Teaching concepts rather than techniques aligns with Bruce Lee's philosophy. By emphasizing principles, you avoid turning Jeet Kune Do into a static system. So there's another angle to the criticism, though. I think it speaks to a broader challenge in martial art, which is something that goes on continually: tradition and innovation. And even though Jeet Kune Do is supposed to be non-traditional or non-classical, there's still a tradition in this instance, in this context, right? So to understand this debate, I think we should explore why some people feel compelled to criticize Inosanto. And of course, they'll always say they're just speaking truth. They're not criticizing anybody. So if you notice, a lot of these Inosanto detractors are tremendous Bruce Lee fans with astounding libraries and astounding collections of memorabilia and that type of thing. So it seems that their devotion to Bruce Lee is deeply emotional. And for them, his teachings, therefore, represent like a sacred legacy. And so for those who feel about it that way, then Dan Inosanto's actions would be like a threat to the purity of Jeet Kune Do, if you get what I'm saying. It might also be that they just find comfort in a complete system. And so they struggle with the idea of having to change anything, having to evolve beyond that fixed system. So I think it's worth considering that their criticism, I think it's obvious actually, their criticism stems from a misinterpretation of Dan Inosanto's intentions. Teaching under the umbrella term Jeet Kune Do Concepts wasn't diluting JKD, but again, using that term principles, it was like illuminating the principles through a broader exploration, right? Anyhow, all right. I say, rather than seeing Inosanto's journey as a detour from Bruce Lee's vision, we can consider it as an extension of it. If Jeet Kune Do is about adaptability, we hear that word all the time, self-expression, we hear that term all the time, then studying other arts is not a betrayal. It is, in fact, a testament to the validity of Bruce Lee's approach. Ultimately, the real question isn't right or wrong, because we're not, I mean, if this debate has been going on for decades, right, we're never going to have anybody say, you're right, you're wrong. As martial artists, are we about embracing that same spirit of exploration? Are we preserving Jeet Kune Do's essence, or are we holding it? I'm very proud of this term. Are we holding it hostage to nostalgia? It's not a good rhyme, but it's almost there, right? Hostage to nostalgia. Okay, so in closing, Inosanto's legacy is a complex tapestry almost of loyalty to Bruce Lee's teachings, because there's no two ways about that, but also a pursuit of growth. So you can agree or disagree with his methods, but there's no denying the impact that he has had on keeping Jeet Kune Do alive and relevant, in spite of the detractors and the criticisms. There are a lot of people. I mean, Ron Reagan and I probably did 12 Inosanto events in the past 11 months. And I can tell you that the spirit of Bruce Lee still flows throughout those events, even if his name doesn't come up, even if the term Jeet Kune Do doesn't come up. So what say you? You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. That's all I am going to say in this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D. Woods, at paypal.me/unifiedma Miami, paypal.me/unifiedma Miami. The Jeet Kune Do Journey Volume 1 is available. That's paypal.me/unifiedma Miami. You can also, today is the last day before the tuition price goes up. It was supposed to go up at the beginning of November, but I was otherwise occupied. So until tomorrow, Thanksgiving, the 28th, it'll be at the initial price. Go to titansofjkd.com. You don't have to do like last year. Now there's a direct link for you to book your rooms with the Hilton Blue Lagoon. I heard from some of Greg Pichardo's people, Suzanne Alberto and those guys, that they're definitely coming down. So I urge everybody who is going to, because next thing you know, it's going to be January, and then you're only going to have a month to get ready for this. So I say jump on the ball today. Bert Richardson just put something up about not putting stuff off until next year, about doing it now. So go to titansofjkd.com now, get yourself registered, book your room, and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that is it for me for today. I'm gonna take Friday off, Black Friday, give you guys a break from me over the Thanksgiving holiday. Next Friday, I'll be on the road again for Cass Magda's Wooden Dummy Seminar, and then I'm also going to do some training at the Inosanto Academy. So if I can work something out to do an episode of the dialogues from Los Angeles, then I will, and I'll let you guys know during the week. Otherwise, that'll be it for me for another couple of weeks as far as Fridays go. Today's a pastel day. I went with the pretty in pink option. Okay, so that's it. You guys enjoy your Thanksgiving if you celebrate it, and we will talk soon. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, signing off. Take care. See you soon.